The Brooklyn Nets, in one word: overpowered, stacked, unfair. Currently, the Nets are 43-21, comfortably as the first seed in the Eastern Conference, despite having their three superstars all missing significant time due to injuries and personal reasons. Despite these injuries and their lack of chemistry developed because of this, they are still the favorites to make it out of the East, if not to win the 2021 NBA championship. But what if I told you that the Milwaukee Bucks could possibly knock out the Nets in this year's playoffs? Let me explain why. Before I explain the exact matchups against the Big Three, let's do a simple lineup comparison. Jrue Holiday matched up against Kyrie Irving. Chris Middleton and Donte DiVincenzo most likely on James Harden and Joe Harris. The reigning MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo matched up against Kevin Durant. And Brook Lopez against whoever the Nets choose to play at center. Just imagine these matchups. It's not as bad as you imagined for the Bucks. But let's take a deeper look at these two teams and what makes them so great. Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant. Three of the most lethal offensive weapons in NBA history, who also at the same time are not good defenders. Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Three players who form a decent offensive trio, but are all great on defense as well. Holiday being matched up against Kyrie Irving is perfect for the Bucks. Jrue Holiday is a guy who can get you 20 points and 7 to 8 assists on any given night, and probably even more than that now that the below average defender Kyrie Irving is guarding him. But now let's talk about how Kyrie has been historically below average when defended by Jrue. Throughout their careers, Holiday has an 8-4 record versus Kyrie. And while Jrue Holiday, being the defender that he is, will not stop Kyrie Irving, Kyrie Irving will still give you 25 regardless of who's defending him. But what Jrue can do is slow him down and tire him out over a long 7-game series. Not only is Holiday a perfect matchup for Kyrie, the Bucks can also throw good defenders at James Harden as well. I'd assume that the Bucks would put Donte DiVincenzo on Harden, but they could also put Chris Middleton on him as well. Both are above average defenders who can give Harden a hard time. Not stop him, but just make his job a lot harder. Then we come to the most important matchup. Giannis versus KD. Two of the 5 best players in the NBA. Historically, Durant has averaged a good 24 points versus Giannis throughout his career. That's good, but it's a whole 3 points below his career average. I'm not saying that KD won't get buckets, but all I want to point out is that Giannis is the reigning defensive player of the year, and that he has been historically good on the defensive end against Durant. Let's switch back to the Nets and talk about their chemistry. A super team that has just acquired James Harden a few months ago. And although the Nets look very good together, we still haven't had a rock-solid 2-week stretch with all of them playing. I mean, just look at the Clippers last year. They were probably the second favorites, only behind the Lakers to win it all. But instead of developing chemistry on the court together, the Clippers decided to rest their stars, Kawhi and PG. As we all know, the Los Angeles Clippers go up 3-1 against the Nuggets in the second round and managed to lose. A big portion of this embarrassing loss was the lack of chemistry. A super team always needs time to gel. Around one whole season at least would be best. In the case of the 2011 Miami Heat, they needed a whole season, including the 2011 playoffs, to fully understand each other as basketball players. Now look at the Nets, a team with 2 injury-prone stars and another one who's at strip clubs all day. You think this team's gonna work out? I mean, yes, they have been good together so far, but the playoffs will be a whole different beast for this team. It's not even like the Clippers situation where Doc Rivers chose to rest Kawhi and PG while they weren't injured. The Nets don't even have a choice to deal with all of Kyrie's personal problems and injuries. However, you look at the Bucks. Their main core players have been together for a few years now. They have good chemistry and are cool with each other in the locker room. Their 2 main additions were Jrue Holiday and PJ Tucker, 2 dudes who can only be positives in the locker room and on the court. To be quite honest, I don't know what to make of the Nets' chemistry. Kyrie, Harden, and KD seem to enjoy playing with each other, but we still won't know for sure how they will play off each other come playoff time. In conclusion, I am not claiming that the Brooklyn Nets aren't the best team in the East, nor am I claiming that the Milwaukee Bucks will flat out beat the Brooklyn Nets without any injuries. All I wanted to say is that y'all shouldn't take the Bucks lightly. They have some defensive monsters on their team and are ready to prove everyone wrong. I'd still put my money on the Nets, but the Milwaukee Bucks have a great chance to upset the Super Team Nets. A Nets Super Team that is deemed as unfair may very well lose to the Bucks in the playoffs. We'll see how the game tonight goes. Maybe by then this opinion will have aged really poorly. Or maybe everyone will hop on the Bucks train and we'll be able to see the LeBron versus Giannis finals matchup. Who knows? Only time will tell. This has been the Basketball Poet, and I'm out. Peace.